If you're over 70 or approaching that milestone, there are some important details regarding your driving license that you need to be aware of. Now, before you start worrying, let me reassure you right from the start, there is no automatic driving ban for older drivers in the UK. That's right. Despite some misleading headlines, age alone does not disqualify you from driving. However, there are specific requirements and updates to the license renewal process that every older driver should know about. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the renewal process for drivers aged 70 and older, what has changed, and how you can ensure that you stay legal, insured, and independent behind the wheel. By the end of this video, you'll have all the facts you need without the confusion or unnecessary anxiety. This channel is all about cutting through the noise to give you clear, accurate information on important topics that affect your life. I'm your host, and we're dedicated to helping you navigate essential issues like pensions, benefits, healthcare, legal requirements, and all the practical aspects of life as we get older in the UK. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for being part of our community. Now, today, we're addressing a topic that's caused a lot of confusion recently: driving license requirements for people over 70. I've spent time reviewing official guidance from the DVLA, consulting government sources, and speaking with experts to ensure I bring you the most up-to-date, reliable information. There's no need for scare tactics or clickbait here, just the facts you need to make informed decisions. Before we dive in, though, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. We post new content every week covering pensions, benefits, legal changes, and practical advice for navigating life in the UK. If you find this video helpful, giving it a like will help us reach more people who need this information too. So, let's get into what you actually need to know about driving when you're over 70. First, let's establish the basics. Under the Road Traffic Act of 1988, when you turn 70, your standard 10-year driving license expires. But don't panic. This does not mean you're banned from driving. It just means that you need to renew your license every 3 years from that point onward. This rule isn't new for 2026. It's been in place for many years now. The good news is that renewing your driving license is completely free for drivers aged 70 and over, whether you do it online or by post. Around 90 days before your 70th birthday, the DVLA should automatically send you a D46P application form. However, if you don't receive this form, you can still renew online through the official Gov.uk website or pick up a D1 form from most post offices. It's incredibly important that you renew your license on time. Driving with an expired license is a serious offense in the UK and can lead to fines, penalty points, and even invalid motor insurance. Many people mistakenly think they've been banned from driving when they've simply forgotten to renew their license. The expiry date is printed directly on your photocard license, so be sure to mark it in your calendar or set a reminder. Renewing online is a straightforward process, and if you apply online, your new license should arrive within about a week. If you apply by post, it can take up to 3 weeks, though it could take a bit longer if your medical or personal details need to be verified. While your renewal is being processed, you are still allowed to drive, provided you held a valid license when you applied, you're not aware of any medical reasons preventing you from driving, and your previous license wasn't revoked or refused for medical reasons. Now, let's talk about what's new or changing, particularly from 2026. There's been a lot of discussion recently about updates to the renewal process for drivers aged 70 and older, so let's separate fact from fiction. Starting in January 2026, drivers over 70 will still need to renew their licenses every 3 years. However, there will be additional health and vision verification requirements. The main change concerns how you declare your medical fitness to drive. In the past, the process was largely based on self-declaration. You would tick boxes confirming that you met the necessary medical standards, effectively working on the honor system. The biggest change for most drivers will be the vision verification requirement. Beginning in 2026, drivers over 70 will have to provide evidence of a valid eye test from the past 2 years as part of their renewal. Don't worry, this doesn't mean you'll need a full medical examination. Instead, you will need confirmation from an optician or your GP that your vision meets the legal standard for driving. This standard remains the same as it's always been. You must be able to read a car number plate from 20 meters away. However, from 2026 onwards, you'll need official confirmation of this, rather than just declaring it yourself. If you have conditions like glaucoma, diabetes, epilepsy, or mild cognitive impairment, you may need to provide additional documentation. These conditions don't automatically disqualify you from driving, but the DVLA wants to ensure that they are being properly managed and that they don't pose a risk to road safety. Some have speculated about the possibility of cognitive assessments, reaction tests, or more frequent renewals, but it's important to note that these are still under consideration. The government is examining the current licensing system in light of an aging population, but for now, the process remains the same, with any significant changes likely to be addressed in future road safety strategies. This brings us to a very important point that applies to all drivers, no matter how old you are, your legal obligation to report any medical condition that may affect your ability to drive. All drivers are legally required to notify the DVLA about any medical condition that might impact their driving. There are over 180 medical conditions that need to be reported, and this applies whether you're 30, 50, or 90. Common conditions that should be reported include epilepsy, strokes, certain heart conditions, diabetes, particularly if treated with insulin, mental health issues, sleep disorders like sleep apnea, conditions affecting consciousness, and significant vision problems. In fact, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents reports that medical conditions contribute to around 6% of fatal road accidents, highlighting the importance of these reporting requirements. If you develop a medical condition, or if an existing condition worsens, you must inform the DVLA, even if you're not yet due to renew your license. Many drivers worry that reporting a condition will automatically lead to losing their license, but in most cases, that isn't true. You can often continue driving, provided your condition doesn't impair your ability to drive safely. In some cases, the DVLA may issue a short-term license for 1 or 2 years to allow them to monitor your condition over time. Failure to declare a condition could result in serious consequences, including a fine of up to $1,000, and if you're involved in an accident, you could be prosecuted. More importantly, if you don't declare a condition, your motor insurance policy could be invalidated. If you're in an accident and it's discovered that you had an undeclared condition, your insurance won't cover the damage. This could leave you personally liable for not just vehicle repairs, but also medical costs, legal fees, and other expenses, potentially running into hundreds of thousands of pounds. Let's focus a bit more on the eyesight requirement, which will be a key part of the 2026 updates. The legal standard for driving vision is that you must be able to read a vehicle number plate, manufactured since September 1, 2001, from 20 meters away. If you need glasses or contact lenses to meet this standard, that's fine. You just need to wear them whenever you drive. As part of the new regulations, you'll need documented evidence that your vision meets the legal standard. Most opticians charge between $25 and $40 for a full eye examination, though some NHS optometrists may offer free sight tests depending on your circumstances, so it's worth checking ahead. If you're over 60, you're entitled to free NHS sight tests, regardless of your circumstances. It's also important to remember that even beyond the legal requirement, regular eye tests are crucial for your safety. Vision can change gradually, and many age-related conditions like cataracts or glaucoma can impair driving ability without you even realizing it. Regular eye tests help catch these issues early, and if you do need corrective glasses, your optician can recommend the appropriate prescription. If your optician or doctor determines that your vision doesn't meet the legal driving standard, they will guide you on next steps. If your eyesight cannot be corrected to the required level, the DVLA may tell you to stop driving. While this can feel upsetting, it's important to understand that the safety of everyone on the road is the primary concern. So, what should you do with all this information? Let's break it down into clear steps. First, if you're nearing 70 or already over 70, check your license's expiration date. It's printed right on the front of your card. Set a reminder to renew at least 90 days before it expires. Second, schedule an eye test if you haven't had one in the past year. If you're over 60, you're entitled to a free NHS test, so there's no reason not to get checked regularly. Third, review your medical history to determine if there are any conditions that you need to report to the DVLA. If you're unsure, talk to your GP. They can guide you on whether anything needs to be declared. Additionally, make sure your contact details with the DVLA are up to date so you receive all your renewal reminders. If you're not confident with online systems, don't